the sloppy Joe of Philly
Okay.
cheesesteaks.
We're playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and she's like, "What is this about?" Going back to the burger part.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bread and Burgers. Just so glad that you could join all of us here. And John and I, we've been thinking about something different and something we're calling Random Pickles, where we just kind of toss ideas back and forth and we're just going to kind of talk about these ideas. So here we go. Last time John came up with a question, and this time I'm going to ask John, how far can you kind of modify or change a dish before it's no longer that dish? And I'm talking about this in the sense of we kind of ended our last one talking about kind of regional variants on burgers. And I think I'm talking specifically here about burgers. But
Mm-hmm.
this conversation kind of came up with a friend of mine and I, as we were talking about, like, what if we were to make the Loco Moco like really snazzy, right? Like, we kept upgrading the components, and at some point in time, we were like, this isn't really the dish we were originally talking about anymore. Um,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, how do you spice it up without changing the inherent qualities of it, right?
right.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna go a giant tangent, and it's gonna come back, right?
Sure.
The first and foremost that I think about, like how far can you change a dish before it no longer has become that, no longer, is that dish, or it's not that dish anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It can either be something completely on left field, like changing the bun of a burger, right? Or it can be as simple as putting pineapples and Canadian bacon on pizza. If you think about it that way, right? So in light of pizza, for example.
So I'm going to pause really quick. So you're saying Hawaiian pizza is not pizza?
Well, hear me out. Hear me out. I like
Okay.
Hawaiian pizza, okay, but I know that a lot of people are very like passionate about, no, you cannot have that. That is not pizza, right? Okay, I hear you, but if you think about it, like you have your Neapolitan pizza, you have your Chicago style deep dish pizza, and again, Chicagoites, Chicagoans, don't kill me, because I love Chicago style pizzas too. But again, if you think about it, it's actually very different than your typical, what we think about pizza as, the pizza dough, not necessarily like the flat, Neapolitan style, but pizza dough, with sauce and then cheese and toppings on top, right? It's backwards.
Mm-hmm.
You have all your toppings kind of inside, you have this thick crust, and then you have like a lather of tomato sauce or whatever other sauce on it. And but you can say it's Chicago style pizza, but ultimately, is it really a pizza anymore? I don't know, right? So what I'm saying is, for every dish is a little different.
Okay.
For the hamburger, we talked about this in our bread and burgers, episodes, of course, that you have some like inherent qualities, like non-negotiables, and to call that a such and such, a burger, bun patty bun, and then you have your fixings and whatnot. So I'll stick to my guns on that. For the burger, there's the bun patty bun thing, but in terms of just generally, it's you have to first decide, okay, what is the essence of this dish, and what are the auxiliaries, and how can I modify the auxiliaries such that it enhances the essence or the non-negotiables of that dish. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a little bit of a kind of a squishy line, I think, for different people, because everyone's going to kind of draw the line somewhere a little differently, because everyone
Hmm.
has a slightly different impression, say, of a hamburger, right? Even going back to your pizza sort of example, right? There's a sense then, right, that you know um, Pizza Huts in Japan don't really serve pizza for some of their, what they call pizza, right? Um,
Hmm. Okay.
so, right, like I don't know if anyone out there has had Japanese pizza. I love Japanese pizza. I think it is amazing, but like there's a sense like it's okonomiyaki on pizza dough.
See, here's the thing though. Again, going back to what are the essentials for that particular food, right?
Right.
Now, if you're talking about pizza, again, this is not, like bread and pizza or whatever, but you have to think, what is the essential of a pizza? The pizza dough, sauce. I'm not even gonna say cheese. I'm just gonna say pizza dough and sauce, and then something else on top of it, right? So if you think about it that way, as long as the dough is it's pizza or pizza like, which actually Chicago style pizza is pizza like, then it can constitute as a pizza, right? And that's the tricky part of it, sure. Because let's say, for example, instead of it being a pizza dough and it becomes a tortilla or a tostada like Taco Bell, then it's not really a pizza, is it anymore? Is it?
So bagel bites are not pizza.
Oh, ouch! I love bagel bites. I also love Tostino's pizza rolls. No.
Okay.
Not
No, I mean,
pizzas.
like we're not here to draw kind of distinctions. Like, it's not bad if it's not a pizza, right? In a similar vein, right? When I think about kind of like a burger, going back to burgers, like we're not saying that it's bad because it's not a burger, but I think is just this idea of like, how far do we want to push this burger label, right?
Yeah, and if you think about like gastronomy, and other like kind of fancier restaurants where you have like they're making it like so crazy, where the bubble that you see before you has the taste of pineapples or something,
Sure.
and yet it doesn't look like a pineapple, so it doesn't walk like a pineapple, doesn't quack like a pineapple. Like it's not a pineapple, and yet they only want the essence of it kind of there. But that is a cool
Right.
trick, but it's not really that thing anymore.
Yeah, so there is that consistency with labeling, right? Like I would never call like a pineapple milkshake a pineapple, right? Like it's a milkshake with pineapple flavors. And as much as you're a purist of capturing the essence of a pineapple, like, even down to the scientific, this is what pineapples do. If it comes in the form of a milkshake, like I'm not going to call it a pineapple kind of thing. And so I think for me, similarly, it's the idea of, and I think burgers are tricky because we talked about this a little bit when we looked at Chris Morocco's lentil burgers, where we have one aspect of like the fundamental core of like the existential reality of like, this is a burger versus like this is the burger as a mode of kind of food conveyance, right? So in that sense, right, like for me, the biggest place where this plays in becomes non-beef patties.
Okay, yeah.
So what is your take? Like, how far can you push that? Because I know a lot of burger places, like I've heard people like, oh, there's this amazing burger place. They do this like barbecue pork patty, and I'm like, isn't that basically a pulled pork sandwich at that point in time?
Well, the key word is patty, and that's the thing, right? Because like you wouldn't want to call a pork patty sandwich a burger, if you will, even though it's called a hamburger. But then at the same time, you would call something a veggie burger, right? It's a lentil burger, veggie burger. So I think the question is, what is it trying to be? Which I just kind of shot myself in the foot there because for Taco Bell, the Mexican pizza, it's trying to be pizza, right? But I'm saying it's not pizza. What it's trying to be, if it's trying to be a burger, then maybe it's a burger, just that it's alternative ingredients. But yeah, you see how it's fuzzy. That yeah, if you use chicken, if you use ground turkey burger, is it really a burger anymore, or is it a burger style sandwich?
So here's another, right? Like, to me, this is probably the most common sort of place where these cross, right? And that is the chicken sandwich, because the chicken sandwich is almost in some sense as ubiquitous as the burger in terms of like American food, right? No one's really going out of their way to call Chick-fil-A a burger joint, but
Eat more chicken.
I've definitely, right, like I remember when I was working in California, our cafeteria actually had two items on the menu.
Hmm.
One was a chicken burger and the other was a chicken breast sandwich. Um,
Oh,
and so
what's the difference?
so yeah, a lot of people asked what's the difference. And so what I found out is that for them a chicken burger is a ground chicken patty, whereas a chicken breast burger is an
Oh,
actual chicken breast. And so, but a lot of people don't make that distinction, right? And so while they don't call Chick-fil-A a burger place, I don't think that they would object to calling, Chick-fil-A's sandwich a chicken burger. And so, I mean, like, what's your take on that?
this is going whole like transubstantiation and whatnot right there right now. But if you don't know, drop me a message. I'll talk to you about it in extensive length. But uh, so you're talking about the mode, right?
Sure.
Like the ground chicken as a formed as a patty
Mm-hmm.
being the mold. So the form of that sandwich, you have your brown bun, you have your round, molded, fused together patty, and then you have your bottom bun. That constitutes a burger. And again, we talked about this before. No, with the exception of lentil burger and veggie burger or a black bean burger, right? Again, that's kind of the mode, the vehicle, the form of it, kind of constituting. No, now that's a burger. Um, Chicken, that's hard, right? Again, man, this is hard. I know, like again in India, they have the paneer burger, which is paneer as the patty, which is not even beef or not even meat. Sorry. Then is that a burger? So I can see that, but it's hard for me to call a ground chicken sandwich a chicken burger.
Okay.
And to counter back your point, I mean, when you go say, hey, let's go to Chick-fil-A and get a chicken burger. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying, but they actually serve chicken sandwiches
Right.
because it's not ground.
Right. So, that brings up an interesting distinction, and some people with the idea that if it's on a bun, a hamburger bun, then it is a burger. But yeah, if you want to make those, to me, right, like it is in some sense a lot of times you're talking about the mode, right? Like we're not saying, and the mode being a ground patty of some sort that is put together. So lentils,
Hmm.
and even like the plant-based Beyond Impossible. That's what I would distinguish between if someone said to me, "Do you want a salmon burger, or do you want like a salmon sandwich?" Right, those salmon burgers that they sell at Costco.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
but think about it though. Like again, go back to our season one episode 11,
mhm.
where we talked about the different burgers or burger like um, burger like sandwiches or whatnot. The sloppy Joe is it comes to mind where there is
Mhm.
the bun,
Mhm.
there is ground beef in sauce, and then
Mhm.
there is bun,
Mhm.
right? So, and that doesn't make the list, right? Because it is exactly exact ingredients of what constitutes a burger. So, I think that it's not just the mode; it's the mode
Sure.
and the you
Components.
know components as well.
So yeah, if you swap out the components, right, no matter what it is, I think you do move a little away from it. That's what we realized when we were talking, for example, Loco Moco, right? Loco Moco, those of you who don't know, bed of rice, two hamburger patties, brown gravy, two sunny side up eggs. And we're like, well, what if we spice it up and use like, high end ground sirloin or like a chopped steak and then made like, a demi glace reduction and used a duck egg.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I think we beat this burger thing kind of down to the ground a lot, but going back to the whole pizza thing, again, Taco Bell pizza, Mexican pizza, or if you even want to go there, um, Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory
Mm,
has flatbread,
mm-hmm.
right? Which there is a piece of flatbread that probably is like pizza dough. Yeast risen kind of flat pizza bread ish, and then you have sauce, and then you have different toppings. Is that a pizza?
I mean, where do you put Neapolitan on the list? right?
See, that's why it's tough. Like you got to draw the line in the sand somehow and say that okay, these are the non-negotiables. Pizza needs to be round. Not true. Pizza needs to have some sort of bread with a 60% hydration or something.
Sure.
And then there's tomato sauce or white sauce or even like pesto sauce, some kind of sauce as a vehicle. Like you have to put that distinction. Everybody kind of needs to do that, or else everything and anything can be a pizza. Um,
Yeah, and I think we would love to hear what you guys have to say, be it about pizza or burgers. Like how far can you take something before it's not something? Like you can inspire a completely new dish that's based on pizza, but it doesn't have to be pizza or burgers or whatever. But we want to hear what your take on it, and maybe it's like, yeah, anything can be a burger. Maybe that's your take. We'd love to hear why you think so. So
and we will agree to disagree. No?
So, again, thank you for joining us in another quick random pickle. And make sure that you don't forget, in addition to commenting on what you think, to like and subscribe, hit the little notification bell. And we just, again, really appreciate you guys joining us. And hopefully, we will talk to you again soon.
See ya.